Hi, good evening. Trust we are fine. How's our day been? Hi, good evening. How's our day been? Trust not so stressful. Hope not so stressful. How have we been? So I want us to have a little conversation. So hi, good evening. How's our day been? Hope you are good. Hope you are fine. So I want us to have a little conversation. I would give a bit of time for somebody that probably needs to call a person or two. Hi, sophisticated farmer. Good evening, ma. Maybe we need to call a person or two that you feel might benefit from this conversation. So you can just give them a call to say, hey, hi, Victor. Good evening. You can give them a call. ZS22 or try now with this. And just give them a tap to say, hey. The good boy, good evening. Chiti Gojoy, good evening. So just give anybody you feel should be a part of this conversation a tap. Madrick fam, good evening. Hope you are good. Hope our day was not so hard. Was not so difficult rather. Hope we didn't have a difficult day. I'm giving us time for a few persons to join. As I hear a lot of things like, hey, you never know when you come online and stuff like that. So like I said, it's just going to be a little conversation, and I feel at some point there are conversations we need to be having. There are conversations we need to be having, and that is what I'm trying to start gradually today. So everything good here also. Oh boy. Okay, let me see, how do I fix you to still come out well? Okay, I think this is good. Okay, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Hope we are good. So like I said, it's just going to be like a short conversation. I don't know how to set up. Trust we are fine. So the conversation is simple. Hi, Miss Rejoice. Hi, Greek tourist. Good evening. I want to have a conversation around building businesses, thriving, and being big. Because what I have noticed is we have created this culture where everybody wants to own their own stuff, where everybody wants to own their own stuff. And this culture, unfortunately, is not helping us grow. This culture, unfortunately, is not letting us grow, is not helping us grow. It's holding us back. So, you see, for you to run a successful business, it's important we are able to understand the peculiarity of where we are and what it means to grow in that context. The peculiarity of where we are and what it means to grow in that context. I know that on social media, when you say anything, the first thing people will ask you is, oh, hi Prince Oguru, good evening, sir. Before you say anything, the first thing you hear is, what have you done? Show workings. That show, you just a talk. And I think I can boldly say that right now in the country, with well over 200 million people. Hi, Dr. Solomon. With well over 200 million people, I can say that we have the largest greenhouse farm hub in the country. And not a lot of people can say that. To say over 100 acres of land is covered with greenhouses all through, on one hand. Two, I think I can also say with certainty that as a vegetable farmer, we have high food safety. Good evening, ma. We have the best infrastructural system for a vegetable farm in the country that can compete, maybe not fully globally, but can sit in global conversations, can sit in global conversations. And the reason I say this is because, you see, what I have noticed is a lot of people within the agricultural space have not taken time to understand that the blueprint for growth differs by sector, by geographical spaces, and by time. Hi, Black Soldier Fly, good evening. By time. And you notice I mentioned the term time again and again. The reason for that is because, you see, if I were building this 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 100 years ago, or even 20 years ago, what scaling means then, what success means then, what it means to grow then, is not the same thing it means now. You see, because you cannot scale in isolation just because you have vision. You cannot scale in isolation just because you have vision. You have the temerity to pursue your vision. That alone will not help you scale. Will not help you scale. You see, because I think a lot, and if you follow my page, you would have seen me make a particular statement on multiple occasions where I say hunger is local, but food is global. Hunger is local, but food is global. Now, what I mean by that, because a couple of persons have reached out via DM saying things like, when I say food is global, am I forgetting the fact that there are things we eat that others do not eat and all of that? So if we have hunger, they don't eat those things. And the question or the answer I usually give to them is the fact that, yes, Joella, the fact that I am in Nigeria, if tomorrow I am hungry, like real hunger, and the only food that is available for me to eat is maybe pizza, I asked the person, will I take pizza to quench the hunger? The person said, yes, why not? I said, the question then becomes, do we own pizza as a food? And I gave the person a real example. I said, I know that for the sake of banter, we have this whole thing with Ghana where we say we have the best jollof rice. Ghana says they have the best jollof and so on and so forth. But we know historically, Nigeria does not own jollof. Mr. Dennison, good evening, sir. Please, if you can be part of this, I would really appreciate Mr. Dennison because you are an Ogatu in this space. We know Nigeria does not own jollof rice. But jollof rice has not only become a part of our culture, jollof has become a part of our celebration. So you are having a party, wedding party, burial, birthday, housewarming, whatever it is, jollof has become a constant stay. And I say, you see, when I am hungry, all I am thinking of is, what? Thank you, my God, Dennison, I'm humbled, sir. What can I eat? I am not concerned about the cultural correctedness of where the food comes from. I am not perturbed by who produced, where it came from, who is in charge, and all of that. Now, the issue is farmers in Nigeria or people playing in the agricultural space have still not understood that when you are in the food space, for you to really make it in food, you are playing in a global competition. You are playing in a global competition. And when we play in a global competition, what it essentially means is you need to be a team to compete in a team sport. However, you see, this is where the beauty is. You don't need to come as a team if the numbers are complete. How do I explain that to make sense? Permit me to use football. Imagine tomorrow Nigeria wants to play Brazil, or Nigeria wants to play France. Now imagine, because we just heard about the match tomorrow, Nigerian, what is it called now? Not Super Eagles, what do they call the ZSF, NFA? Yes, NFA. Uncle Sam, good evening, sir. Imagine Nigeria NFA now quickly says, okay, because we don't want to lose the opportunity to play Brazil, let's just quickly gather 20 players, 11 on the pitch, 9 substitutes. Then the NFA gathers 20 players. Thank you, Jimmy. These 20 players, they come. Now, these 20 players never had the opportunity to train together. They don't understand how they play. They don't understand. The coach just came and said, okay, you will be keeper, you right back, left back, center back, DM, CM. Just threw them into positions and says, oh yeah, go and play. Now, you will agree with me that the organizers of the competition are not going to step in and say, no, we cannot let this match continue, because the Nigerian representatives have not had enough time to play together, to understand how to play together. Right? Would that happen? No. Instead, they will allow the match to continue. Who knows? Maybe the match will end 10-0, 12-0. It will now go into the record books that the biggest defeat Nigeria ever had was at so time. It will also go into Brazilian record book, their biggest, good evening Mr. Basil, their biggest away win, 10-0. And that is the end. Now, where am I going? Nobody is going to say don't let it happen because Nigeria is not prepared. No, that is not how the world works. Because although it is a team sport, we don't need you to be a team to compete. We just need you to meet the minimum number to compete. Now, what do I mean by minimum number? You will notice that if you are playing football match and you give a player a red card, the game does not end, right? If I am not wrong, the minimum number of players needed by an opponent. Mommy Choma, good evening, man. What an honor. Good evening, man. Mommy Choma, you find is a good evening, man. The minimum number of opponents needed for a game to start, if I'm not wrong in football, is 6. Meaning 6 players playing against 11 players. And the game will start. Now, imagine a competition where a country or a team is feeding 6 players, the other nation is fielding their complete 11 players. You know that would be a massacre. But the game will continue. Now, the issue is Nigerian people playing, especially young people playing in the agricultural space, have created that pseudo belief where there is the constant complaint of you people are not fair to us. You are not fair to us. You are not allowing us score. You are not allowing us grow. But we are forgetting, Nafisa Aminu, good evening. We are forgetting that food is a global competition. Food is a global competition. Yes, we know that food is supposed to be fundamental human right, but food is also national security. As a matter of fact, politicians and those in power know that food is first about national security before it is about the security as it relates to stomach or health. It is first about national security. Look at most of the nations where the people got tired and there was finally an outburst and a rebellion. You will notice that it happened when feeding became a big issue. Whenever feeding becomes something that they cannot surmount, whenever the ability to buy food becomes so hard, people get pushed to the wall, then a revolution begins. people, governments get chased out of powers and so on and so forth. Which means automatically government understands that if we are not able to meet our food production for consumption within our locality and the food price begins to skyrocket, the next best thing to retain power is open the borders to anywhere that food can come in from. Because by the time the food comes in, the people that will run at a loss because of the fact that the borders were open are infinitesimal compared to the people that will benefit from the price of food dropping. Hi, good evening all the way from Oka. Good evening, thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you, Ogadanisi. Food is national security. When price of eggs increased in the US, Trump had to address it quickly when the companies were... Exactly. So you realize that we are not able to understand these things yet as those playing in the agricultural space. I will give you an example. I would have tagged my daddy, but I know he just got back and he's a bit tired. Let me not disturb him. Pastor Debo Nofowora. We were having a conversation and we were looking at the agricultural landscape in Nigeria and the agricultural landscape in Canada. Because we were trying to compare, okay, Samson, is it okay to basically, let's move to Canada and start a farm? Then we started looking at, where would we have an edge? Then, what are the bottlenecks that exist? I remember that one of the areas we looked at succinctly was poultry. And he was then telling me the process in Canada is, as a poultry farmer, you cannot own more than 500 layer beds as a farmer legally. And you cannot own more than 1,000 broiler chicken or broiler birds. You can't. So which means if I want to own broiler and layers, I cannot own more than 1,500 birds. Think about it. So, which means what the system is saying is, we need you to produce at a level enough that there is control. I mean, in Nigeria, I can choose tomorrow to say I want to have 20,000 birds, 1 million layer birds. And they're like, oh wow, the birds are bedding. Right? So, where am I going? We still have not understood as farmers that we are in a global competition. We've not gotten that. We still have not understood that we are not, it's not about me versus Oga Denison. It's not about me versus Oga Jeffrey Ochi. It's not about me versus Oga Rexin. No, because the problem, what we are still not getting is, all of these people, we are supposed to be on the same team. But what we are having strict control. What we are having right now is we are fighting each other as team members, and we are wondering why we cannot compete internationally. Let me give another example so that you understand where I'm going with these thoughts. I'll give you another example. Nigeria is the largest producer of ginger. Nigeria is the largest producer of soya bean. Please, is it soya now? Yes, I think. Ogadanisi, please confirm. Anyone I'm wrong, please correct me. We are the largest producers of yam in the world. I'm not talking about in Africa, I'm talking about world production. We are the largest producers of cassava in the world. Simeone, how you doing? Good evening, bro. Dr. Simeone from my medical days in Madonna University. Good to see you, bro. Largest. Now, think about it. If I need to export cassava, I need to export yam, ginger, soya. The countries that are not the largest exporters are the ones that have to come together and created a standard that my product must meet for them to buy it. How does that sound? We are the largest producers, but we are not. My daddy, Ambassador Shola, good evening, sir. On TikTok, good evening, sir. We are the largest producers, but we are not the one creating the condition. We are not the one determining the criteria that the product should meet. Other nations are the one creating the criteria. We who are the largest producers are now running from pillar to post to meet that condition. How does that sound? I want you to try to imagine that. Just try to imagine what I'm trying to explain. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. Where we who are the largest producers are not able to say, this is the standard our product will be. If you cannot accept it, bye-bye. No synergy. Thank you, Mr. Swanky. No synergy. Because rather than us in this space to work as a team, if today I am saying, I want to create a system and say this is the standard, somebody in our team will go from the back and say, no mind them, come and buy my own. What do you want? I will give it to you. So, because of that, we are not able to compete globally. This is not just a Nigerian thing. I'm just using Nigeria as an example. The same thing happens when you go to, we also have the largest population of humans in Malga. We also have the same thing when you go to flowers. The biggest exporter of flowers in the world do not produce flower. I'm talking about Netherlands. When you go to their flower farms, they are research spaces. One of the biggest places where flowers are produced is Kenya and Ethiopia. My daddy, good evening, sir. Ambassador Shola is here. Good evening, sir. But they do not determine the standard for what they are doing. So you realize that we have created a system where we are, I'm trying to look for the right words to use, where we have made ourselves subservient to others because we are not a team. We are not a thing. I'll give an example so it will make sense, because it is easy to say, no, it is government issues, it is these issues, and you try to exonerate yourself from the reality of these issues. If tomorrow I say I am coming to your office and I come in a company of one white guy and one black guy, three of us come into your office, maybe because you know me, you might just maybe you will give me some bit of respect. I am almost certain the number 2 person on the list that you are going to give respect to will be the white guy, not the black guy. Even if I tell you, oh, the white guy is a driver, the black guy is the manager, your brain cells will take time to understand and accept what you just heard. That this is the driver, this is the manager. Because it would make more sense to say the white guy is the boss, the black guy is the servant. Despite the fact scientifically it has been proven we and white 99.9% DNA is the same. So there is this thing where we have intentionally labeled our things inferior. Because if we need to grow our agricultural value chain, we need to get to the point where we understand we cannot do it alone. When I say we, this is not just about the farmers. I'm talking about the farmers cannot do it alone. The farmers need the consumers. Let me explain so it will make sense. If Nigeria says we need to grow, if we truly want to grow, honestly say, oh, we are committed to grow this nation's economy. Nigeria is a country of 200 million people, minimum. 200 million people. Let me open my, I don't know if this thing's calculator can go big, but let me try to open my calculator. We are a country of 200 million people. Let me see if the calculator can do. Now, imagine every Nigerian spends 1,000 naira a day eating. That's 100,000 million. That's 200 billion naira a month, a day. Times, can go and take, times 365, 100,000 million, billion, trillion. That would be a 73 trillion naira economy. Abi? If I divide that by what the dollar says, 100,000 million, billion, that's about $45 billion on the spot, assuming we eat we eat with 1,000 naira a day, which is not true. So, but let's assume 1,000 naira a day, which is less than $1. If we, exactly, the entire value chain needs to work together. If we need to grow our economy, growing our economy is easy because we have our own foods. Let me explain what I mean so somebody will get where I'm going. We are the biggest producers of cassava in the world, biggest producers of yam. We own, yes, daddy, everything for, see, oh, God bless my daddy. Daddy already knows where I'm going. The deep taste for everything foreign. Daddy, see, your father is your father. He already knows where I'm going. He has got it to the end. We are the biggest producer of cassava, biggest producer of yam. William Janet, good evening. Biggest producer of yam. We have palm oil. We have ginger. We have soya, etc. If we are the biggest producer of yam and cassava, over 70% of, or let's say 70% of yam, about 60% of cassava in the world, interpretation, think about it. Our everyday food should naturally by default consist of yam and cassava in different forms. We should pound yam, grind yam, eat yam, use yam as soup, use yam in different forms. Use cassava in different forms. But you see, for us to be able to develop this food in different forms, the consumer needs to be willing to follow in the process of discovery and perfection. Because the first yam flour that we are probably going to make will not taste so nice. But we should accept it not because it is the best, but because it is our own. And when we have accepted it because it is our own, those who are producing it will be able to make money to keep developing it. The engineers, the guy studying engineering, is able to continually work on machines locally fabricated. This is how economies grow. The first iPhone was not the best, but if they did not sell the first iPhone, they will not have money to funnel back to get to whatever iPhone number they are right now. But in Nigeria, we want the farmer, we want our food to come out already made as the best, competing globally. Thank you, Daddy. Imagine us importing wheat from Ukraine when we have cassava and plantain flour. Exactly. Worse off, we are even depending on a nation at war. See, They will adjust based on feedback from consumers. If truly this war is warring, should you not destroy what they are using to make money? In all their warring, they did not war and destroy those things. They are still able, I mean, it was not last year or earlier this year, they sent us incentive also, palliative from Ukraine of some fertilizers or something. A country at war. As farmers, see, everybody will not be able to sit together to start this whole process. But some of us need to agree and say, see, there is something bigger we need to co-build. There is something bigger we need to work together and create. There is something bigger we need to work together and say, can we have made in Nigeria? Can we create something and say, oh, this was done here, this was produced here. It may not be perfect. See, when the product is not perfect, the entrepreneur is not done. But if you are not able to purchase what is not perfect, he has siphoned his money into what is not perfect, but he needs you. He needs you to patronize so that he gets money to improve. So that he gets money to improve. I will give an example. I mean, my daddy would, of course, my daddy knows, Mommy Chinwe knows, Oga Dennis knows. How many of us are old enough to remember the first set of Chinese phones that came into Nigeria? They can't remember their name anymore. All those phones that when they are ringing, oh, people, they express yes that the Nigerians abandoned plantain flour, started consuming wheat, believing that wheat is better than plantain. Now there are diabetes everywhere. Many of us remember those first set of Chinese phones. Let's remember the names of those old phones. There was bird phone. There was this very one that was very annoyingly loud. Many of us remember those phones I'm talking about. If those phones were not accepted, all those chinko, we used to call them chinko phones, which are yes, we used to call all those phones chinko phones. Have you noticed that today, some of the best phones in town, once you leave Samsung and iPhone, are the itel, the, what are they called? itel, hey, I've forgotten most of the names of all these phones. Today. Why? Techno now has become better with time. But when they came out, yes, Sagem, Symbian, all those, if those phones were not allowed to grow, think about it. Will Techno be where they are today? No. If you remember, it was Chinko phone that started dual SIM cards. It was Chinko phones that started dual SIM cards. As a matter of fact, there was a time Chinko phones were doing 3 SIM cards. 3 SIM cards did not just sell. So they reverted back and stopped at 2 SIM cards. Before we knew what was happening, the almighty Samsungs, the almighty Nokia, the almighty iPhone also started doing 2 SIM cards. But why did the phone industry in China grow? Because, 8 SIM phones even there. Why? I didn't even know that. Why did it grow? Because people patronized them. They were affordable, yes, but they were not durable. They were not the best. We even laughed at the phones. Those of us that use those phones, they know we used to laugh. Some of them even had radio. Uncle Sam, thank you so much. I remember those phones those days. Some had radio, some had TV. We laughed at them. But as much as we were laughing at them and mocking them, we were patronizing them. Patronizing them gave them money for R&D, and they developed. The most consumed fruit today in Nigeria is apple. Where is apple coming from? Abi, putting an apple in a container requires a lot of additives, but we abandon all our local tropical fruits. Exactly. Exactly. See, we are not ready for growth as a nation if our food is not controlled by us. It's that simple. If our food is not controlled by us. Somebody is saying, why will you say we are not ready for growth as a nation if we don't control our food? Because oh, I wish I can tag, let me not, I don't like disturbing people. I would have tagged Mr. Ogochukwu, the financial coach, and tag other financial coaches. Go and check the best performing shares of any company. Companies that you are sure will continually grow, their shares will continually do well, are companies that their products are everyday use, what we call FMCG, fast moving consumer goods. Companies who are focused on what people do every day, what they will spend money on every day. So, what is the thing a common Nigerian man spends money on every day? Food. Now, if our food is import dominated, food is where think about it. There was a statistics by, was it Nairametrics or so, or Budget It, one of the two, where they said the average Nigerian spends over 50% of their revenue or their income on food. So, if the average Nigerian spends over 50% of his income on food, what does that tell you? 50% of the money we generate as a nation goes to food. And if our food is denominated in quotes through import substitution, bringing in food from outside and all of that, it automatically means that 50% of the money that we are making and all of that is going out of the nation, is going into servicing other people's economy. Let me pause. 80%. Oh, thank you, sir. 80%. That is what it means. And we need to be ready to work together. We need to be ready to work together. We need to be ready to work together. This whole thing of everybody trying to be, I think at times when I get the opportunity of speaking with my dad, Ambassador Shola Adeniyi, and Pastor Debo Onofowora, we get to discuss these things. And I say, this whole thing of I am me alone, I am the CEO, a person that has not, you are going to start CEOing. At what point are we going to understand we can work as a team? There is an infrastructure you can depend on. There is a system you can rest on. Because it is easier for me to say, hey, if today I am talking to an off-taker, I am able to tell you, hey, we have this large land. Can we work together and say, okay, you are a greenhouse farmer, you are a greenhouse farmer, you are a greenhouse farmer. Let's together set a price for greenhouse products. Let's together start creating a system. Somebody is saying, by the time you start creating that system, is that not, what's the word, cabal? Is there any sector that has thrived without oneness? No. Our division is why we cannot grow. Our division is why we cannot grow. See, let me explain this so that it will make sense. When I'm done, Google to is it double check or to clarify so it doesn't look like, oh, this cannot be true. He's not saying, he's not telling us the whole truth. Take time and study developed nations. Take time and study developed nations. Do you know how much money developed nations give to their farmers to subsidize food for them? Exactly that. We sell everything as produce instead of product. Do you know how much developed nations give to their farmers to subsidize production? Do you know how much money? Try and Google these things so it doesn't look like, oh, I am. Let me give you an example. How much subsidy does USA give to? Should I even start with potatoes, or I should even go to what's the word? Maize, because those ones are big. So they give a lot of subsidy to things like corn, that's maize. They give crazy subsidy to soybeans. They give great subsidy to wheat. They have systematic ways of giving out these subsidies. And what they try to do is to ensure as a farmer you do not run at a loss. Now, this is the thing. When, because this is life, that's why there are a lot of things I will not say before they say, oh, you have insulted this nation. Take time and go and study some of these big nations. When a country has subsidized a farmer almost to the tune of 60-70%, where do you think the excess they have produced will go to? They will sell it automatically to the developing nation, the third world nations, the nations that does not have what it takes to meet the quota of what they need. They will send it to us by default. And because we have told them we do not have any option, we have made our palate to be used to what only they can produce. By default, we will depend on them for these things. By default. Think about it. As a child growing up in the village, I did not taste sweet corn. I'm sure we all know what sweet corn is. I did not taste sweet corn until I was done with probably my whole university BSc degree. I did not taste sweet corn for the first time until I was done. It was one party I think I went to, they serve salad with sweet corn inside. I'm like, I will come to whether there is no data and portfolio farmers will take the money for the first time before I saw sweet corn to taste. Now, why am I giving this example? You know, I mean, it's not a secret anymore that sweet corn is the corn bred for human beings to eat. The maize that we are all used to eating, if you check the maize is pressed at the head, called dent corn, D-E-N-T corn, dent corn. Dent corn is a corn meant to be grown for feeding animals. Dent corn is a corn meant to be used for feeding animals. And dent, D-E-N-T. And the way dent corn is made is such that dent corn is supposed to be hybrid maize. That you go back to the seed company to collect new seed to plant every year. But we know some of our fathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers that got the first set of seed from Agric. If you are older, you will know that those they used to call Ministry of Agric. They just say, Alosi Agric, Alosi Agric. You go to Agric and buy the corn, and they keep recycling that corn. We all grew up eating that corn as roasted corn, as boiled corn. If you want to boil it and you feel it will not be sweet, you add a bit of salt. And it comes out sweet. So we have been eating animal food conveniently and comfortably for long. You might be shouting, it is not fair. The question is it the other team that you are competing against that is supposed to come and tell you, no, you are eating wrong? I mean, think about it. Is it the other team that is meant to tell you that, oh, that what you are eating, no, it is not okay, it is wrong? Sweet corn is sweet because the high level of starch has already been converted to sugar, so that when you take it, your body can burn it off easily. But you have been eating like an animal, and we are wondering where diabetes came from. When you have been eating and building cholesterol, fat, because in case you don't know, when you take too much carbohydrate and your body cannot make use of the energy, it converts it to fats. So you don't need to eat fat to be fatty. That is why cow does not need to eat meat to be fat. It can eat only grass and be fat. You can eat only salad and be fat. Your body will still convert it. So there needs to be a system where we need to be one. Yes, I know people, somebody has already mentioned it. Oh, as you are saying this thing, even if government says they want to create subsidy and all of that, it will go to portfolio farmers. Yes, It goes to portfolio farmers because farmers are not united. Farmers are not united. You are a farmer, you have one plot, 3 plots, 6 plots, 2 plots. All of you are doing your things. Why will portfolio farmer not stay in between and take the money and walk away? There is this parable, I don't know if how do they say it again? No. If the ekute in the house does not go out to call the ekute outside, the outside rat cannot come in. The reason why it is easy for non-farmers to benefit from whatever it is available is because our own house is not properly structured. We are not organized. We are not organized. You cannot do this thing alone. You are alone as a farmer trying to win a systemic war. It will not work. It will not work. It will not work. I mean, I am proud to say, oh yes, today we have some of our guys who are growing, who are becoming something, but we are not yet enough. We are not yet enough. I had the opportunity of discussing with, what's the name of this man? Mr. Ayo Shotinrin. Hope I pronounce it well. Mr. Ayo Shotinrin, the head of Bank of Agriculture. And I remember when we were having the conversation, he made a statement that stood out for me. He said, Samson, bro, let's be sincere. I am tired of providing funds for one farmer per time. He said, Samson, can you help me create a system where we say, okay, in this cluster there are 10,000 farmers. In this cluster there are 20,000 farmers. And I just come and I say, okay, these 20,000 farmers, these 100 farmers, kill a need. And I am able to say, oh, what we need is, out of these 100 farmers, 50 of us are farming one plot or one hectare. Okay, that is 50 hectares. One of us or two of us are the people moving the trucks. Okay, this is the person in charge of storage. This is the person in charge of this. This is the person in charge of this. These are the people in charge of distribution. This is how we run. This is our input supplier. Okay, this makes sense. So which means as a complete value chain end to end, you guys are probably making 100 million naira. Okay, how much do you people need? So we now say, as a team, if we get 1 billion naira, we can move from 100 million to 500 million naira per annum. Oh, this makes sense. Because from our conversation, he said, we want to sponsor value chains, not individual, not one step in one direction, no. And I asked myself, I said, okay, if I say, let me start selecting people, people will say, for Sam chose his own people. He did not allow people to know about it. He selected his own people. He selected his own people. He did not let everybody know. This is the, what's the word people usually use? Who you know about, did they say that thing? You know me, I know you, tingy. So, this is me calling officially. If you want to play in the horticulture value chain, we are open to work with as many people as it is that wants to work. To a large extent, by God's grace, we have created a system that people can plug in. Till date, I have access to funding from, what's the name? FCMB. I have taken people to Sterling Bank. From Sterling Bank, we have access to funding at 9% per annum. They will say that nepotism. We have access to funding from Sterling Bank at 9% per annum. Access to funding from FCMB at 9% per annum. This is, you can see that this is public. If you are interested in horticulture value chain, this is not Shingba Shingbo. This is an open call. We need to work together. Sometimes next month, we want Mr. Ayo to come to the farm, that's the head of BOA, to sit down and meet with these clusters and say, okay, this is what we can do. This is where we need help.
This is what we can do. This is where we have a gap. To a large extent, I know as a farm, we can accommodate if it is processing. You can process your vegetables. You can dehydrate. You can freeze dry. You can blast freeze. You can wash, cut. We have machines for all of that as a company. And what I am saying is, you can come in and say, hey, because you heard when Daddy said it earlier, the problem as a nation is we are still selling produce instead of products. The problem with selling produce is the shelf life is short, the value on it is smaller. But we can start converting these things to products. So this is an open call to anyone interested. Reach out to us. I am interested. Visit the farm. Tell us what you want to do. We see where you plug in. What you want to do is, I want to process my spice. We have capacity of 23,000 metric ton. Let me turn that into gram, because I know most tomatoes and pepper that I see, this is one of my girls own, one of the ladies we train, she is into pepper. This is 70 gram. This is 70 gram. I'm sure we know this. This is 70 gram. So 23,000 metric ton times 1,000 kg. That's 23 million kg. Divide by, so that you will not say 70 gram. We have the capacity to do over, if my math is correct. Is my math correct? Wait, let me use Google. I know the old. Convert tons to gram. So if I want to convert tons to gram, 23,000 metric ton, this will not show properly. So I was wrong, but that was kg. 23,000 metric tons times 1,000 kg times 1,000 gram. So we can do, I just want to give you the mass so that it will make sense. Divide by 70. Our capacity, because let's start working together. Thank you so much, Daddy. When this week, because they graduate on Friday, but they leave on Saturday. So it will be great to have you, Daddy. We have capacity to produce 328 million of this per annum. 328 million of this per annum. So, are you a farmer producing pepper? We have facility to help you turn your pepper into powder, if that is what you want to do. Tomatoes into powder. Pepper and tomatoes into pepper tomatoes mix. Into pepper tomatoes onions mix. We are in Ogun State. We can process herbs, spices, vegetables. Herbs, spices, and vegetables. And with good arrangement, we have a company we signed an agreement with, because they were able to provide all the right documentation, and we told them per month we will give you credit worthiness of up to 10 million backed by a bank, so that you are able to take your product to the market and sell. Come back and reproduce. What am I trying to create in the horticultural value chain space? I want to ensure that I am able to create a model where people start seeing that, in Enugu, in Oka, in Kafanchan, in Uperu, we can come together as farmers one day and say, can we on our own create a hub, buy our machines, buy our this, buy our that, create a hub to allow farmers, then have a system of managing the machines, because we have the machines. So if you are a farmer, you are a processor, you are thinking of distribution, you are thinking of trading, rather than just going to buy pepper and go and sell pepper, you can have it branded. It is legal. You can put manufactured at, but it is your company name that is big. You sure you can make the manufactured at very tiny, so in case you are afraid that we will steal your name. That is why we have registered this place also as Farm City. You don't need to put Soilless Farms that can be manufactured at Farm City. You can use Ewekoro local government. You can choose to call it Awowu. You can choose to call it Kurere. You can choose to call it Idele. Because our farm sits on 4 villages. So you can choose to pick any of the 4 villages as your company name. You have not started your company yet. You can choose to come. Register your company in the name of this place, so that you can put the address of this place and you own it. Yes, Daddy, government will need to stop, but we cannot force government to stop if we do not have what it takes to compete internally. Because if there is nothing, see, this is what I love Nigerians for. Because our economy, I'm going to look for anything I can use to compare. We have an economy that is not so rich. If I am selling this thing, pepper, for 1,000 naira, an example, and this is another packaged pepper sold for 20,000 naira, if the volume is the same, the quality is the same, it is the packaging that is different, the people that can afford this at 20k are not more than the people that can afford this at 1k. As a matter of fact, if you study Nigeria's economy very well right now, thanks, so I don't change my hairstyle. If you study Nigeria's economy right now very well, we are entering what we call sachetization in Nigeria's economy. Sachetization, meaning a lot of things are now being produced as sachets because the income of the people can only afford things in sachets. And we have machines that can produce sachets. We have machines that will help you package in sachets. That is the beauty. If you study this, the developed nations economy, they are not entering what we call sachetization. They are entering what we call shrinkflation. What is shrinkflation? The volume of the price of the thing did not change, but the content of what you get is shrinking gradually. They are gradually reducing the volume. If you remember those days when we used to eat Okim biscuit that used to be 5, it now became 4, it now became 3. That's shrinkflation, where the price did not change, but what you are getting inside is reducing. I'm sure you remember that happened to our gala. Our gala went slim to the extent that when you cut the gala, you use microscope to see the meat. Shrinkflation. We are entering sachetization. We are Coastal biscuit, thank you, or even Coastal biscuit. We are willing, the sachet economy, we are willing to work with whoever it is that is interested. You are interested, I will probably try and see how to, how to make a post, a creative post that makes this make sense, that if you are interested, come, we want to work with you. We need to create a system by ourselves. When we create that system, we can now go back and say, okay, see, I'm sure you know that federal government, through the help of AFDB zone, created what is called SAPZ zone, Special Agricultural Processing Zones. Those zones will not fly easily, not because there is no will, but because if those SAPZ zones begins to run, the nations that depends on you for revenue, because we depend on them for import, will suddenly lose out on a market of 200 million people. Do you know what that means? So if we are going to get it right, our will needs to be stronger than our greed. I will say that again. Our will need to be stronger than our greed. I currently process leafy vegetables like this is quite due to the dehydrating time. And so that is the beauty. If you are working with us, we have 10-ton capacity. How can this solution help you? So you can now say, oh, if you have your ugu, you have your shoko, you have your tete, you have your ewedu, bring as many shoko, tete, ewedu. We have machines that can slice. They will help you cut. Once they have helped you do the cutting, So if your dehydrator can do, just an example, maybe it's doing 20 kg per time or 50 kg per time, imagine having access to a facility that for the same time, with a little bit of more money, you can do 20 tons at a go, and you have market for your 20 tons. Then imagine the fact that you have access to process and sell, then come and pay, because there is a bank in between, an insurance company in between, that stands in the gap to say, okay, do your 20 tons, but Soilless will release one ton to this person per week or per day, because this is the capacity they can sell. But for production, let's do 20 tons at a go to reduce their production costs. This is how it helps you. This is how the solution helps you. Because, hey, my Oga, 2 hands in the air. Do we process yam? No, we have not got a facility for yam, but you can work with Cattle Food. Cattle Food is in Osun State, if my map is correct, the state that is a neighbor to Oyo State is in Osun State, and they have capacity for yam and cassava, anything yam and cassava. Anything yam and cassava, they have the capacity, and they are doing the same thing. We need to start working together, because imagine if by next month I am sitting down, or we are hosting the BOA DG, and we are telling him, Mr. Ayo, so right now we have 100 processors. Across these 100 processors, out of the 300 million capacity, we are able to do 250 million grams out every year. Oh, for production, these farmers on this other side are able to produce this. Then he will now ask, okay, where are the issues? Oh, the issues are the processors are not able to compete properly internationally because they do not have fine packaging that can compete internationally. They'll be like, okay, oh, we need a better packaging line that looks like what is abroad. Okay, we need the farmers to get better input. Can we get tractors? Can we get drones? Can we get this? You see, at that point, when that money is released, because if you start, I have to take time to study the subsidy system of the Americans. They are not giving that, is in Iwo, yes, which company is this processing cassava in Iwo? Cattle, C-A-T-O, Cattle Food. So the way they work is they are not just subsidizing the farmer, they are subsidizing the entire value chain. I don't know if my daddy is still online. Go and see how cheap it is to eat chicken abroad. Look at the price of feed. You will start asking yourself, why will chicken be this cheap compared to the price of feed? Because there is subsidy in the process. This is what we want to create. Cattle Food, yes. This is what we want to create. And we can do it together. No, so thank you so much, Daddy. For NAFDAC registration, NAFDAC is about the place you are processing. Where you are processing. Our system is, our NAFDAC stuff is almost done. So it is where you are processing. Because when they are going to give you NAFDAC, your NAFDAC is not like you are going to say, I need NAFDAC certification. They'll say, where do you process? You'll be like, no, I don't process. I just buy. No, they will not give you. Because NAFDAC is about checking how do you process and package. Because you are processing and packaging with us, it is our, oh, that's why I said, where manufacturing can be written in small letters if you are scared. So that what is big is your name and your address. If you check some, I don't know if they still do it those days, some biscuits you see produced by, manufactured at. The producer and the manufacturer does not need to be the same. There's a way they call it in, I can't remember, I wish our food safety people were here. There is a way it is called. So if you choose to still register so that you want to have your own NAFDAC number, it will be done, but your NAFDAC number, not like it is needed, will just be because it will be tied to our facility. We are trying to create processing zones. This is the goal. So that at the end of the day, is it cold trucks that you want? We have it. Is it cold storage you want? We have it. Is it blast freezing? We have it. Is it pack house that you can show and compete internationally? We have it. How is BOA, Bank of Agri, Minister of Agri helping out? We need political goods. Yes, you will need them, but that's what I'm trying to explain. You need to first have a system they can support. If not, whatever money they want to release will be taken by people who are not the active players. Two, if I choose to go alone and be selfish, I can be funded, but my funding will not make a meaningful impact in the value chain, because they will fund what I need, not what helps everybody. I don't know if that English makes sense. Yes, thank you so much. Fresh out. Apple products are designed in China. They are designed in California, but produced in China. Is that simple? Stop asking how these people. Somebody still asking how is AFDB. You are not the only one that needs help. The question is, how are you positioned to be helped? There is a Yoruba adage that says that omotoba shikpa soke abi omotoba something, a child that opens the arm is the one that you carry. Do you know? Let me give you an example. When I'm done with this, don't forget Dennis is still online. When I'm done, please, I want to see if I want to confirm the name. I want to check it so that I can give you the correct beneficiaries. Because some people still don't understand what I'm trying to explain. That's why you are still looking for who will help you, how we help you, who will help that, who will help that. Okay. When I am done with this conversation, go online and Google CBN 100 for 100. CBN 100 for 100. Last year or last 2 years, if my math is not wrong, 28 companies in Nigeria were given a total of 23.2 billion naira as loan at a very, very good rate. I think it was another 5% per annum, whether they had moratorium of up to 5 years or some of them 10 years. And I am trying to study, how are these people getting these things? How are these people getting these things? They are not doing mago, and it was legal. Funny enough, the 100 for 100 was even advertised. Yes, pineapple farmers can exploit it for what's it called, for dehydration, and you package it and you sell pineapple chips, pineapple snacks. Put a bit of mix it with ginger, garlic, a bit of honey, call it, find what it means. Yes, around 2023. Thank you, Mr. Dennison. These things were done openly. Over 20-something billion naira was given out as loan. At least I know a few farms that got it. These farms got it because they said we are a, what's the word now? If I say we are legion, they say that one as Satan. We are a, not conglomerate. We are a value chain. You are funding us, but we have a lot of people. We have cucumber processing facility, watermelon. If you want to make juice, yes. I should give it a, I don't, so that's the problem I have. Food safety, my good evening, but I don't know how to give it one fine premium name. Yes, give it a premium name. Make the, what's it called, pineapple, put ginger, put garlic, put a bit of pepper. I mean, I've eaten peppered pineapple before, and it was very nice. Then put a bit of honey, find one fine name to call it. Find one fine name. And it starts selling. A consortium, thank you, sir. It was called a consortium. I remember, I mean, some of the people online will know it. When you travel abroad, they take Zobo, but they don't call it Zobo drinks. You hear hibiscus. I remember the first time I heard, oh, this is an hibiscus juice. Thank you, Daddy. Cluster. This is an hibiscus juice. I'm like, hibiscus juice. You know the term, I mean, I know hibiscus flowers. It was after I tasted it, you know, this kind of thing where there is this realization of, something you can also be stupid though. Because for some reason, I don't know why I heard hibiscus. There was a fine name they called it. It wasn't juice. It wasn't juice, because maybe my head would have picked. It wasn't juice. There was a fine name they called it, but there was hibiscus in the name. And when I heard hibiscus something something something, I drank it. They now hit me. Wait now, this thing has zobo now. And the person was looking like, so just again, I put my hibiscus juice in cans. I mean, I know mommy, food safety mommy is speaking from Brazil, if I'm not wrong. She's speaking from Brazil. So she's putting hibiscus juice in can. And I even forgot to tell you that we have canning machines. So if you want to make things and put them in can, the way Coca-Cola is in can and all of that, we have the machine for cans. We are able to help you can your stuff. It wasn't called hibiscus tea. If na hibiscus tea, me when we say I grew for Nigeria, I go say na agbo, jedi jedi. They didn't call it tea. The name they called it was too good not to like it. It was too good for me not to want to taste it. What am I saying? We need to start creating products. We have the facility to create products. If you need access to some funding, we have people we can introduce you to get access. Thank you. Somebody has, I didn't want to start calling names. The filmmaker, all of you know Cap Village. The Cap Film Village. You know Cap Film Village now? That has been hailed and hailed. They were a beneficiary of the 100 for 100. Why will Cap Film Village get part of the money from CBN to build a film village? Because he explained that what I am trying to build is not about me. It's about a community. Different movies will be acted here. It made sense. It's not one person going to say, what I just want is, actually, for me be 50 million. Actually, for me be 2 million. Bofera, Tepru. No. It made sense because what he was going to go there, if you go online, search 100 for 100 beneficiaries, the companies that they gave it to are there. They listed them. How much each company got is listed here. It's not a hidden document. It was not a hidden process. This is what we are trying to create. If you wish to be a part of it, either tonight or tomorrow morning, I will try and craft a proper, what's the word? A proper post that would also explain it. If you are interested, come to the farm, come with your idea, make sure you have your market. Make sure whatever you are doing, you can sell it. Have your market. Have your market. It is about time that you enter Nigerian stores and you are seeing our products in different form. You are seeing our products in different form. You are making your own zobo your own way. You are making your own tea your own way. You are making different things your own way. Let people start seeing our products everywhere. It is about time. Yes, we have the processing machine for hibiscus. Yes, if you want to cancel, if you are going to want to turn it into plastic and all of that, when you come, if you don't have a recipe, we have Ms. Joy, our resident nutritionist. You work with her, you agree, you co-create a recipe. That recipe, when you are done, the legal team will come in, sign it and say, this is your own. If you like, take it to patent and go and patent it. This is your recipe. So that this is what you are selling. Tomorrow you can choose not to come again and go to another location and carry your recipe and go. But this is yes, there will be a contract signed, definitely. This is the only way we can grow as a nation. Farmer Samson alone is not going to be the one doing juice, doing herbs, doing spices, doing this, doing that. That's not the way growth happens. When a nation has gotten to a level, you can now say, oh, one person wants to be the oga. But the level where we are not, there is no team enough to be an oga. You cannot be a leader where there is no unity. Leadership only happens where there is unity. No, we do not. So e-commerce website is not needed because people will sell their things. Whatever you are producing, you are selling. I am not taking your product to sell. Only produce what you can sell. Only produce what you can sell. Again, I have said this before. This is not I am trying to, what's the word now? We are not saying come and see how to form I am the boss. No, 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 no. It is fine wherever you are coming from. This is not about, oh, I am the boss. This is not about CEOing. You may need to partner with some of your colleagues, some of your friends to bring that thing to reality. You may need to partner. I will make a post either this night or you see the address. I'm trying to write. I'm not able to write. You may need to work with some of your colleagues, some of your friends, some of your family members, even some people that you don't like. Hey, Auntie P, good evening. How you doing? How is baby? All right. You may need to partner with some people, but we are here for you. The heavy lifting, the heaviest part of the job, we have done it for you, which is how do I buy equipment? How do I buy this? How do I buy branding machine? How do I buy packaging machine? We have done that. It took us a while to get here. It took us a while to get here. Certifications that you need to break into market, we have that. By God's grace, before the end of the year, we will get Global Gaps, our Global Gap certification. With Global Gap, we will be the only vegetable farm in Nigeria that has that certification. Meaning, once your product is passing through here, we have a lab where you can test. So this is not a thing of I need to test my stuff in the lab. The laboratory is here. What test? Oh, if I come and I need to work for 3 days for me to do one full blown, 1, 2 full blown, 3 full blown, what do I need to do? There is a place you can rent on the farm to stay. When you are done, pack all your product and go. If what you have paid for after you have done your product is 1/4, we have a warehouse where we help you store it well locked. We are trying to even create a system where you can lock and hold the key so that nobody knows your product was produced there. Only you know what you locked inside. Yes, Global Gap, man. What am I trying to say? We need to own our food value chain ourselves. Do you do programs for adults outside under 30s? Yes, we do. We have a lot of paid trainings. As a matter of fact, tomorrow we also even have a training we do with the federal government called the Industrial Training Fund called Super Skill Acquisition something. That one is even sponsored by the federal government. Tomorrow we are graduating our level 1. Hey, my daddy, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. All the way from Nigeria. Good evening, daddy. Former Honorable Commissioner for Agri. Daddy, good evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining, Honorable Bawa. Thank you so much, Daddy. Thank you for all the support. We do not take it for granted. So, we have the processing facility, Mr. Alfred Ukane, the largest indoor fish farmer in Nigeria right now, over 1 million. Oh, is his son. Oh, how is Daddy? How is Daddy? We are ready to work with you. We are ready to work with you. We are ready to collaborate with you. We are ready to work with you. Think of that thing you want to create. We can process for you. We can package for you. We can even call our branding team. We have our media team, branding team. If you need to resnap some fine pictures, we have them. They will help you brand. They will help you do all of that right on the farm. Oga Alfred Ukane is somebody that has access to foreign markets. But right now, if you don't have access to export, it is fine. Let us take back our food. We should not be entering. It is shameful that you go to some shops in Nigeria, you are seeing Gari from China. Nigeria, like why? Kinshewa? It should not be happening. Thank you so much for joining. I will try, maybe tomorrow I'll still come online again, I don't know. But if not, I will make a post about this again tomorrow. I just wanted to do this to make it, what's the word? To give a foundation for people that were able to watch this. But how are universities also getting involved in this movement? I believe there should be. So with universities, what we are doing is training the next generation of farmers. No problem, no problem. As a matter of fact, we had an audit. Was it last week? We had an audit from one major organization. They said we should not put their name out there. That's why we didn't put it. From one major organization, and it was interesting. It was very interesting during the whole audit. Some of the things that they had to tell us to do, get a, what's that thing called, air blower. So our doors, normally we have a lot of things inside the packaging and all of that. Let's take back our food. Yes, Daddy, let's take back our food. Right now they told us to put this stuff on all our doors. It's like a blowing machine that blows air, so that anything you are bringing will blow out before you come in. And we had to start installing that ASAP. By tomorrow, all of that will be installed. So we do not have a tractor. Good evening, sir. Okay, I think he's chatting me. We do not have a tractor. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you for joining. I'll try and make a post. Please share with others that you feel can benefit. Let us take back our food. Thank you, Daddy. Let's take back our food. For the labeling and all of that, we have our food safety team that will teach you how to label so that it comes out right. It comes out right. We may not have money to do packaging and branding of A class, but let our information be correct. Let our processes be correct. Let the content be correct. Let it be that when they test our content anywhere in the world, it can compete globally. Then gradually, as money comes, hey, another Basi, how you doing? As money comes, we gradually upgrade our branding and packaging and improve our processes. Thank you so much. Have a great night.